Let's make this Happy Mother's Day wreath together. I'm Rocio, also known as Chio. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first we're gonna go over the supplies. We're gonna need some deco mesh. This is a 10 by 10 deco poly mesh, and it's a fine weave deco mesh. So it's 10 inches in width and 10 yards in length, which is 30 feet. I'm gonna be using a Dollar Tree 14-inch reed form. For the ribbons, I'm gonna be using this 2.5 inches and 1.5 inches wire ribbon. It's very important that it's wire ribbon, guys, so it maintains its shape. Look at those ribbons, aren't they gorgeous? And for my sign, I'm gonna be using this Happy Mother's Day. This is gorgeous. I've been eyeballing this sign forever. Look at the detail of everything. Oh my god, it's so pretty, and the colors, I just cannot get over it. We're also going to be using some pipe cleaners. It's going to be 18 pipe cleaners for the reed form, and we're going to be using as well as other pipe cleaners for the sign and the bow. So let me go ahead and straighten up the edge of this deco mesh with my rotary cutter, and we're going to start cutting the mesh at 20 inches long. Okay, so I'm using my cutting mat, my self-healing cutting mat, and I'm actually going to hold it a little bit with this rock just so it doesn't curl on me, especially when I'm getting towards the end. I'm going to be cutting it at 20 inches, but when I say 20 inches, I actually do it a little bit shorter than 20 inches just because sometimes the rolls come a little bit shorter. I've been seeing comments online, people saying, hey, my mesh, my row of mesh comes shorter for whatever amount. So what I do to prevent that, I just always assume it's going to be a little bit shorter, which is not always the case, but sometimes I go shorter half an inch, a quarter of an inch. It just really depends how I'm feeling at the moment. But that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to be cutting 18 pieces at 20 inches. And remember, when I say 20 inches, you can do it at 20 inches, or if you experience a roll that is short, do it a little bit shorter than that. Okay, now I'm bringing to the plate my 14-inch wire reed form from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna make this into a work reed frame. When I say this, I mean that I'm gonna add the pipe cleaners, okay, to be able to attach my deco mesh. So that's basically why I'm calling it convert it or make it to a work reed form. So my first pipe cleaner is gonna go on rows 1 and 2, and I count from the outer side. This has 6 sections. This specific reed form has 6 sections. So I'm going to be counting each section's 3 pipe cleaners. So the first pipe cleaner is going to go on row 1 and 2, starting from the outside. That's how I count. And then I'm going to face it going outwards. The second pipe cleaner is going to go right in the middle of the 2 brackets, or the 2 wires that are dividing my reed form. And I'm going to give it a couple of twists. Usually I do 3 twists, to be honest with you. You can do 2 or 3 just to make it secure. The third pipe cleaner is going to be going an inch and a half from that bracket right there. So this is going to be how it's going to be looking. So the inner one is going to be in the middle of the brackets, and the other 2 are going to be going an inch and a half from the brackets that we have there. I don't know. You don't call them brackets. I don't know why I have that word on my head. Anyways, let's do it one more time. We're gonna do the ring 1 and 2. We're gonna do 3 twists. We're gonna face it towards the outside, the second pipe cleaner right in the middle of the 2 brackets, and we're gonna twist it again. And this one is gonna be facing inside the wire reed form. And there's a rhyme and reason for this, because when you attach your mesh, you will see that it's easier to face them this way. Okay, so now I have 2 of the sections done, and I'm gonna be doing the rest. And here we go. Just fast pace, guys. Let's do this fast because I don't want to keep you here forever. So I'm almost done, and I'm gonna attach 18 in total. Okay, so it's 3 per sections. We have 6 sections. So that makes it 18 pipe cleaners in total. Now to create the technique that I'm going to be using for the mesh, I'm gonna be doing a ruffle method. So here's the mesh facing up, the curl facing up. This time I'm gonna face it down. I'm gonna use the scissors just, for a little bit of weight, and I'm gonna go ahead and fold in like an inch, inch and a half, and I'm gonna find my center. Once I found my center, I'm gonna scrunch and pull, scrunch and pull, scrunch and pull. And towards the end, I want to go ahead and leave another inch, inch and a half folded, just to prevent fray as much as I can. I am going to grab it from the middle. I'm going to collect it in the middle, and then that creates like a little bow tie. So I'm going to start on the outer rings, and I'm going to open my pipe cleaner, make sure that it's on the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and close the pipe cleaner, twist it, and I like to press just because I feel that makes it more secure. When I was starting doing wreaths, I wasn't pressing, and I find out that a year later it's kind of loose, so I like to press it as I go. So let's just fix a little bit the curl, and the factory edges should go towards the inside and the outside of your wreath form. The cut edges, the ones that you cut, are gonna go on the sides. So let's go ahead and do one ruffle again. We're gonna go ahead and face it down, the curl down. We're gonna go ahead and grab and scrunch, scrunch and grab. I mean, it was backwards, right? We're gonna be leaving an inch and an inch or an inch and a half towards the end. We're gonna fold in, and then we wanna go ahead and gather it towards the end. And there it is. That's my ruffle. In the middle, keep it grabbing it from the middle, and you can adjust it if it's like a little cattywampus. I'm gonna use the second pipe cleaner. Also, I'm still working from the outside. The wire number 1 and 2, the ring number 1 and 2, I'm sorry. I'm gonna press, and I'm gonna do a couple of full twists. And this time I usually do 2. When I say 2, I mean 2 twists, full twist. Okay, so here we go. That's my second ruffle. And I'm gonna go all the way around the outer side. So my outer side, it's already completed. As you can see, it's already starting to look very full. Now I need to do the inner pipe cleaners, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them facing up, because if not, they're gonna get lost, and I'm not gonna find them, and I'm gonna be fighting with that mesh all day. So let's go ahead and face them up, so you can go ahead and see them when you're trying to find them to put your mesh. And now that my pipe cleaners are more visible, I'm going to go ahead and do the inner rows. So I'm gonna put 6 of my deco mesh cuts. Those are the last 6 that I have left. We're gonna do the same process of folding, scrunching and gathering, and folding at the end. So I can go ahead and add the inner rows ruffles. I mean, not ruffles, guys. What am I thinking? Ruffles. I don't want to confuse you. Ruffles, not the other word that I said. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it in between the pipe cleaners. Press. That's what I like to do, and then 2 full twists. And I'm gonna go all the way around, and I am gonna do the same exact process, so it will look more full. Next, I'm gonna be cutting my ribbon tails, and usually I like to do a test. I normally know what kind of ribbon I want, and it's already, in my head, but sometimes I'm a little bit iffy about it. I'm not 100% sure, so I like to do one of each, one combination. I do want to talk about this pink ribbon, this fuchsia ribbon. It's double-sided, and it's so gorgeous. So to scrunch it, what I do is I gather in the middle, but I also do like a X or a crossing, but not 100% sure. And look at this, how full it looks. See, with all the 18 pipe cleaners and the 18 pieces of mesh, it just looks amazing. So full, so fluffy. The good part about this technique in a 14-inch wire wreath form from the Dollar Tree is that you only usually need 1 row of deco mesh. So that saves some money if you're selling, your wreaths. Also, I want to remind you that I'm using 2.5-inch wire ribbon and 1.5-inch wire ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my next ribbon at 12 inches. That's the number I'm going to be using for this reed form. And I'm going to be doing the dovetails for each one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and dovetail. What am I thinking? Have I told you the story that I thought it was ducktails when I started? And I'm like, what do they mean by ducktails? And then one day I was like, oh my God, they call them dovetails because of the tail of a dove bird. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so dumb. But anyways, I got over that. So then I'm going to bring that champagne ribbon. I'm going to cut the little edge because it's folded and it looks very creased. So remember, it's 12 inches that I'm going to be cutting my ribbons, well, my ribbon tails, and I'm going to be dovetailing them in this case. You can also do them angled, but I want the dovetail for this one. So we're going to cross it a little bit, not 100%, but I do like an angle, as you can see. I am going to grab from the center, scrunch it, and do a V. So let me show you closer. Center, scrunch it, and then a V shape. Bringing my reed form again to the table, I'm going to put it on the next pipe cleaner because we're going to do a design on each pipe cleaner. So we're going to exchange them. So one is going to be one side, the other one is going to be the other side. And what I want to do right here is my test run. So I'm going to put my sign just for a second there to make sure that I like how it looks. And it did look really nice, guys. Like that ribbon, it was just amazing. It was the perfect combination to me. And to cut the rest of my ribbon, I'm using this tool that is called the measure buddy. But you can cut them by hand, just measuring each one of them. You can use a piece of cardboard that is 12 inches. It really doesn't matter how you cut it. It's just you need to cut it at 12 inches each one. And I'm going to be cutting in total 9 per ribbon because we have 18 pipe cleaners. And what I like to do, is put them in order. I want to make sure that they're one after the other one, just to make sure that I don't mistakenly put the same one next to each other, because I've done that, guys, for real. And then I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I already cut the pipe cleaner, so it's kind of hard to, undo it. Let's go ahead and cut this rope that came with the sign because we're not gonna need it. Oh, by the way, do you have two type of pair of scissors? Like I have my pair of scissors for my ribbon, and that nobody can touch it. I told everybody in the house, you better not touch my black scissors. You can use the other color scissors, that's fine, but these are just specifically for my ribbon. Okay, getting back to what I was saying, I'm gonna use 2 pipe cleaners to make this an attachment. So I'm gonna be using the ends to the right and the left, just because I'm gonna attach it on the center. I'm gonna create this little U shape in the middle of my pipe cleaner, and I am gonna have 2 pieces of felt to create extra security when I put my hot glue on it. So this is just scrap pieces of felt that I have laying around, and I don't throw them away because I don't throw away anything, guys. Okay, let's make a line where I want the pipe cleaner. Let's put on top that flat part of the pipe cleaner. You're gonna hold it for a few seconds, and once that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and add hot glue on top of it. I'm gonna add enough hot glue to be able to secure it. Don't be stingy, guys, with your hot glue. Like, add enough. I'm not saying to add the whole, the whole tube, but do add enough, guys. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, but before, I'm gonna grab my little spatula to make sure that it's all even. This is a kitchen spatula, that's all it is. I want to avoid to have to burn myself with the hot glue as much as I can because it usually happens. And if you're a crafter or just use hot glue on the regular basis, you know what I'm talking about. For the next pipe cleaner, we're going to hold it for a few seconds just to let it set for a little bit. And I'm going to add my hot glue on top. And I'm gonna add my piece of felt, and then with my spatula I want to go ahead and make sure that it touches every surface correctly, and this is gonna hold for dear life, guys. So using the felt, for some reason, I don't know the science behind it, but it really does help. And meanwhile that hot glue sets, I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of my cut pieces of ribbon, my tails. And again, I like to put them in order just so I don't get confused. Okay, so we're gonna bring the second set of ribbon, and I'm gonna do a little angle like I was showing you before, and I'm gonna do it one more time just so you can see what I'm doing. It may be self-explanatory, but maybe some people do want to see it again. So we're gonna scrunch and make a little V in the middle. You can use your ruler, or you can use your self-healing mat that has already, you know, the measurements. You can go ahead and just make sure that you put it on the center. I already have a little bit of experience to tell where's the center, but you know, if it's not exactly in the center, just grab it from a little bit to the left or to the right. I do want to take advantage to let y'all know that I appreciate each one of y'all that have been supporting my channel. This is a new channel. This is my 5th video actually, and I just really love y'all. Thank you so much for, you know, watching me. Let me show you how I fold the rest of the pipe cleaner. I cut it to like 1 inch or 1.5 inches to leave a little tail. I don't want to leave the whole pipe cleaner there. So I'm twisting and giving it like an inch, 1.5 inches of space, and cut it right there. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half, and then fold it in half again and put it underneath my ribbon, just so nobody pokes themselves with that pipe cleaner. And if you are enjoying this tutorial, I will appreciate you hitting that like button, as it really helps my channel to grow. And if you like my content, you can see the other videos that I have and shorts, go ahead and follow me. Leave me a comment and tell me where you're watching from. I'm in Texas, so I would like to know where you're watching from. Okay, so all my ribbon tails are in each of the pipe cleaners. I cut them, I fold them, and my pipe cleaners on my sign are solid, guys. They are not going anywhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place it in the middle. Make sure that I like the placement. Just play around with it a little bit before I actually thread the pipe cleaners through my mesh. So what I like to use is this, I don't know how it's called. This is like a needle, but it does not have, it has like a ball point, and it has a little eye where you can put the pipe cleaner through. So I don't know how it's called. If you know how it's called, I know they also have plastic ones for like a knitting, I believe so, but this metal one, I don't know how it's called. So I will really appreciate you telling me if you know what it's called. Please help me with this dilemma. If you wonder why am I using this tool, it's because I am going to insert the pipe cleaner in between the mesh. I do not want to put the mesh aside and just look for the wireframe. If you do that, what's going to happen is that your sign is going to sink. Your sign, every attachment that you put is going to sink, and in my opinion, it does not look that great. So go ahead and feed it through the mesh. And again, the reason I use this tool is because it's easier, but because I can spend an eternity fighting with that mesh and that pipe cleaner. I don't know why I struggle so much, and I get so frustrated, and sometimes I'm like, you know what, let me walk away. But doing it this way is way easier to feed it through the mesh. So I'm using the edge of my table to be able to find that tool. Again, tool, just gonna call it tool, and find and thread my pipe cleaner. So right here, I'm just making sure that it sinks enough how I like it, but not too much. So this is just basically testing the water, see how it looks, see how it's gonna be either synced or a little bit, you know, floating on the mesh. You can say floating, or just on top of the mesh of the frame, and just using the edge of my table to find it. And once I do that, I actually go ahead and do some twist just to secure it. In the meantime, I don't go all the way twisting, because I want to make sure that if I need to adjust something or whatever, I'm able to do that, and I can actually undo the pipe cleaner quickly instead of undo the whole thing. Once my sign is where I like it, I'm going to finish the pipe cleaners on the back side. I want to fluff this ribbon a little bit before I continue Why? Because I don't know, I just like to fix the ribbon. But I'm gonna flip it, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and find my pipe cleaners, and I'm gonna finish twisting them. And usually what I like to do is twist it and then feed it through another part of the wire reed form. It could be the same ring, the outer one or the inner one, it don't matter. I just like extra security. And then at the end, I go ahead and insert it towards the inside of the mesh, just so we don't, you know, poke ourselves, or whoever is handling the reed, your customer, we don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead and twist it and find a place on the wireframe to attach it again. Just anchor it very well. And again, we're gonna push the end of it inside the mesh so it's very secure. Next is bow making time. So let's go ahead and grab our 2.5 wire ribbon, which is the one with the leaves, I guess, tropical leaves. And I'm gonna be creating 6-inch loops for the base, and I'm gonna be doing 4 loops in total for that ribbon. And I'm gonna be cutting my tail at the desired length. I'm gonna fix them a little bit just to see how it looks. My next ribbon is gonna be the pink ribbon, the double-sided ribbon. Isn't this gorgeous? I mean, again, but I wanted to show you this up close, that you need to press and twist your ribbon every time that you make a loop. Why? Because you want the pretty side facing you up. So let me go ahead and cut this part. I'm making 4 loops on the pink one, and now I'm gonna go and bring this teal color, I guess is how you call it, with the birds. Guys, this ribbon is, oh my god, I'm obsessed. So I'm doing 4 loops, and each new ribbon that I do, I go down 1/2 inch or 1 inch on the size. Okay, here's an important part. This ribbon is one directional, so that means that if I continue doing the same way, my tail is going to be backwards. So I cut a little part instead of continuing, and I'm going to put my ribbon on the desired position, making sure that the length of the tail is the same one as the one that I first started. And as you can see, I'm always pressing my bow, because if not, it's just going to go crazy. Okay, so I'm going to cut a little tail. That tail is just 1 inch, okay, guys? And that's just to make sure that my next tail is facing the correct way. That extra inch that you see on the right is just to make sure that when I put my zip tie, it's holding into something. So let me go ahead and fix a little bit my loops. And what I'm going to do right now is bring the champagne, I'm going to call it champagne with white leaves. And I'm going to twist, okay? Twist so you see the gold part, it's on the bottom. And when I bring my loop in, the pretty side, the pattern side, it's top, and then twist again so the gold part is facing me. Then when I bring back the loop, you press, and because I'm only doing 2 loops of this one, I'm gonna leave it at there. I am not gonna twist anymore, okay? Pressing my bow, always pressing. I'm always pressing that bow, because if not, it's gonna be a big tower of ribbon and going everywhere, guys. The last part of my bow, it's going to be a little loop, or what we call sometimes a button of a loop. So I'm going to do a longer tail for this one, and I'm using this gorgeous fuchsia ribbon with the green, the lime green, and the inside, the double-sided one. So this is just going to be about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and I'm going to cut a smaller tail that is going to face up, okay? So let me just calculate where I want it. We're going to cut it, and we're going to go ahead and face it the right side. Both of them are on the right side. Okay, let's go ahead and put our pipe cleaner to attach it, and let's go ahead and put our zip tie. Here's the trick, guys. Zip tie and pipe cleaner. It's very important that your pipe cleaner gets in between the zip tie, because it has happened to me that I don't put it the correct way, and the zip tie never grabbed the pipe cleaner. Okay, let me go ahead and fix my tails so they're not all over the place, all cattywampus. And then after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my pipe cleaner. I'm going to pass it through the bottom of the loops and the bottom of my tails. And just push it through up just for a second. Grab my zip tie. Okay, here's the trick. You're going to put the zip tie, and you want the zip tie towards the left of your pipe cleaner. And the bottom is going to go towards the right of the pipe cleaner. You see how it's gonna hug the pipe cleaner? That's the best way to do it. Otherwise, your pipe cleaner is not gonna fetch through the actual zip tie. And I'm gonna do a few clicks. You don't want it all the way. Few clicks, and then with my left hand, because I'm right-handed, okay? With my left hand, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Use the fingers that I can and I have available to grab both sides, and I'm gonna push it up slowly. Don't push it up just like that, because it can unravel. And then I'm gonna start clicking a little bit more as I am bringing it up. Again, I don't want to click all the way through yet, just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and flip it to the back of my bow, fetching my pipe cleaner so it can face the back of the bow, both of them. Okay, I'm gonna click it a little bit more, my zip tie, but I'm not done yet. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that both of my loops on the bottom are the same, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the top loops, make sure that they're the same length, because sometimes the zip tie can be more to the left or to the right and your loop ends up being uneven. Right here, I'm gonna go ahead and press it all the way down to make sure that my loops don't get shifted to the bottom or the side. And I'm actually seeing that my little button loop, it's a little bit facing toward the bottom of the bow, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. I do apologize for the bad camera angle. Sometimes you cannot see what I'm doing, but I didn't notice when I was recording this video. So this one is just like a zip tied gun, but it's a little bit different. It's pretty heavy duty. I'm not sure that I like it, but I order another one. Let's go ahead and twist the pipe cleaner 3 times, a couple of times, to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't slide around. I'll go ahead and fix my tails again, make sure that they're facing the right way, and make sure that they're straight as I want them. And once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail the tails of my bow. But first, let me straighten this up all the way, because it is a little bit all over the place. Okay, so now that I see that it looks okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my scissors, grab my nice scissors, my ribbon scissors, the black scissors that nobody's allowed to touch. Sometimes they're like, which scissors can I grab? I'm like, I told you any scissor, just don't grab the black one. And they're like, oh, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna start with the bottom of my ribbons, the longer one. And as I go, I'm gonna make sure that it's an inch and a half shorter than the last one, just so you can see it. This fuchsia one, this one is double-sided, like I was saying, so I'm just gonna fold it. And this is how you do your dovetail. You're gonna go ahead and fold it in the middle, vertical, and you're gonna go in an angle upward from the folded side to the edge of the ribbon. Okay, and that's how you do your dovetails, just to make sure that you're doing it the right way. You don't want to do it opposite side, otherwise it's going to be a V, not a dovetail. Okay, I'm doing the last of my tails with the champagne. I'm finishing with the champagne one and folding the pink one. That's about 1/4 of an inch, and I do 2 folds. Not 1/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, I don't know my measurements, but anyways, I'm gonna fluff my bow. I'm gonna start with the loop on top, and then I'm going to do the bottom ones. And the trick here is that you want to tuck and pull and fluff. But when I say tuck and pull, don't go hook on it. Don't, like, you know, don't do it too hard, because what's gonna happen is that you're gonna end up pulling one of the ribbons, and guess what, it's uneven now. So tug and pull, but with enough force to make the ribbon fluff, but you know, again, don't go all like super strength on it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep fluffing. Making a bow is fun, but fluffing sometimes is not that fun for me. At least for me personally, sometimes I get a little bit frustrated. Again, this is a matter of patience, and your girl here, it's not known for being a very patient person. Okay, I'm done fluffing my bow. Look at that bow. Isn't it gorgeous? The colors are just so pretty. It's just, I don't know, breathtaking for me. So I'm gonna bring my wreath that already has the sign, the ribbon tails and everything, and this got stuck here. For the love of God, okay, here we go. Okay, so I want my bow over here on the corner, but then I'm thinking, I don't like how this looks. The bow is very important, and it should go on, in my opinion, on the corner. So you know what, I'm changing my mind. I don't like the sign here, so I'm gonna have to redo the sign. Yep, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the pipe cleaners that I use, and I'm gonna detach it. And here we go. We're gonna have, I'm just measuring where I want it, bringing my bow. And again, I apologize for the camera angle that is not showing everything, but I decided that it's gonna go on the side. So what I need to do is put the pipe cleaners on the top and on the bottom. So let me go ahead and snip this pipe cleaners that I already had on both sides, and I'm gonna bring the pipe cleaners towards the top and the bottom. And we want to use the same type of technique that we're gonna be using the scraps of felt to secure it very well. And we're gonna be using hot glue and 2 more pipe cleaners. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold my pipe cleaners in a V shape. No, it's more like a U shape, because a V shape will be like pointy. So in this case, it's gonna be a U shape, flat on the bottom, using my hot glue, doing a line where I decided my pipe cleaner. There we go. And then I'm gonna put my pipe cleaner on top, wait for a few seconds, and then add more hot glue. And remember, don't be stingy with your hot glue, guys. Let's do enough so it doesn't go anywhere. You don't want your sign to detach, and then your customer is gonna be like, oh my God, my sign fell. Or even if it's for yourself or for a gift, you don't want your sign to fall in the middle of summer, you know. Especially here in Texas, it gets hot, guys. It gets hot, and if you don't secure things right, things are gonna, you know, they're gonna fall. And meanwhile, I wait for my sign to completely cure the hot glue on it. Let's just give it a, I don't know, 10 minutes or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my bow and attach it to the right position. I'm gonna go ahead and get the same little tool that I don't know the name of, so I can feed through my pipe cleaner, just making sure that that's where I want it. So again, guys, through the mesh, always through the mesh. Remember, the mesh is gonna give you the structure that you need for your things not to sink in like the Titanic. So you don't want that, guys. Okay, once my bow is attached, I'm gonna bring my sign and determine what part on the right side I want it. And you see that bow is not sinking. I'm telling you, you need to do it through the mesh. So I have decided that I want it on the right side, on the bottom side, not completely to the bottom, but towards the bottom, to create like this angle kind of visual effect, you know, like if it goes across, it creates this pretty visual effect that balances things out. Once I'm able to find my pipe cleaners to attach it, I do a few twists, and I do the same thing that I did before, that I find another wire next to it, or the same wire, fit it through and push the ends inside the mesh. And look how pretty this is turning out. I really like it. Let me go ahead and curl my longer tail, the one that I put on the little button on the middle, and you're gonna be able to see the green part. So pretty, so pretty. But for some reason, I was not happy. Not that I was not happy, it was like something was missing. So, you know, I'm just looking at it, staring at it, and I'm like, what is it missing? What do I need to add? And I knew that I needed to add a flower. I usually do 3 elements, the rule of 3. If you put 1 flower, you put 3. If you put 1 embellishment, you put 3, just to balance things out. But it doesn't have to be that all the time. It just really depends on your design. And I'm gonna put this big fuchsia flower on top. I tried to add the other 2 on the bottom to see how it looks, but it was just way too much and it was gonna take out from the design. And to be honest, I did like struggle to decide if I wanted the flower there or not. So I look at my husband. My husband is watching TV and I'm like, hey, look at me. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. I want you to tell me if the flower looks good. And he was like, yep, I like it. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yes, leave it there. I like it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with your instinct. I'm going to go with your instinct this time because I think you're right. So to attach this flower, what I'm doing is I'm wrapping a pipe cleaner. I could use hot glue only, but because it's such a large flower, I don't want it to fall apart. Again, this is all about securing things for your wreath. So once I did that, I went ahead and added the hot glue and first fit the pipe cleaner through the mesh and then add some hot glue. And let's see how this, oh my god, this turned out so beautiful. Like honestly, after putting the flower, I was fully satisfied with the results. And this is how it turned out. Isn't it beautiful? Happy Mother's Day. I love it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to follow me on my socials and leave me a heart if you follow through all the way.